What's up, everybody? Motorcycle Mouse. Finally back with another moto vlog. So I hope you guys really enjoyed the kidnapping my brother for his bachelor party video. We had a blast shooting that video. It was really fun. It was really cool getting to hang out with friends and you know, planning all that sort of thing. Doing that really made me miss the military, though. It really did. Just the excitement of doing things like that. So, but yeah, it was a blast. He had a good time. So, hope you guys enjoyed that video. I went ahead and showed a lot of the preparations for it and things like that, so you could see kind of what goes into a small mission like that. Rehearsals and reconnaissance and issuing the warning order and all that sort of thing. So, speaking of tactical, I want to talk a little bit about the whole situation in Iraq and possibly the future for Afghanistan. ISIS, or the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, which is the terrorist organization that's sweeping Iraq right now. If you guys have seen any of the videos, you know how brutal they are. These people blend in. It would basically be like you or I just blending into the population, pulling up next to somebody and just shooting them. Just like that guy right there, just all of a sudden I pull out a weapon and just kill them for no reason. That's how they operate. They don't usually, up until recently, actually roll around in big groups like a military. They're more like thugs that just go around and they're brutal. They will take a whole family, rape, pillage, and plunder. That's the sort of people that they are. And there's videos that's making it online because they're proud of how brutal they are. They're so brutal that Al-Qaeda separated from them. It's a longer story than what I'm explaining, but basically the two leaders, the two main leaders, had an argument over how brutal they were being. And Al-Qaeda said, you know, this tactic's going to backfire because people are eventually going to rise up because you're oppressing them so much like this and being so brutal that it doesn't draw them to you, it pushes them away from you. And obviously it does. But right now, Iraq is under threat of becoming a entirely dominated Sharia law, which is the strict law version of basically being a Muslim. You can't have makeup if you're a female, you can't have music, and if you do, they'll bury you up to your shoulders and throw rocks at you till you're dead. So, that being said, okay, that's what they're up against. We spent thousands of lives, billions of dollars, and years training the Iraqi army. And whenever we turn them over to basically handle their own country, they were not ready to handle their own country, and this is proving it. Obama did that strictly as a political thing to get us out of the war because Americans were growing tired of that war. And as bad as I hate to say it, you know, it's basically tough shit. We got ourselves into it. We need to get ourselves out gracefully, which we did not do. And we are now proving that. The Iraqis were not ready to get out of that, to lead their own country. Should they have been? Yes, absolutely. You can't teach someone, you can teach someone how to fight, but if they don't want to fight, what is happening right now is exactly what's going to happen every time. I can teach you how to fight, but when bullets start going over your head, if you're not fully committed to it, you're going to do the same thing they did. You're going to drop your weapon, take off your uniforms, and blend back in with the population and run. Especially under such a brutal invasion. And that's exactly what's going on. The people who weren't actually in it, they were just in it because it, you know, it paid better than what they were making or so on and so forth, are bailing out. And our military sort of says, all right, you know, hey, free college, benefits, so on and so forth. But our training that they put us through kind of weeds out the people that's all they're in it for. Not completely, obviously, because you got people like Bergdahl and and Bradley Manning. I don't call him Chelsea because I think that's retarded, but because you got people like that. I'm going to speak up a little bit because I'm getting on the interstate. I know it tends to get quiet. I've watched some of the other videos. That's my bad. So I'm going to speak up a little bit. So if it sounds like I'm yelling, it's basically so you can hear. Let me get on here first. Alright, so anyway. But the same thing I feel like we're going to have the same problem in Afghanistan. Reason being, because in Afghanistan, it's sort of the same situation going on. We're basically babysitting a country that isn't ready to fight for itself. They've never fought for themselves, and they don't want to fight for themselves. Because they've always been a tribe here, a tribe here, a tribe here, and it was just generally what we call Afghanistan. But Afghanistan is made up of many different religions, many different tribes, many different areas and populations of people, and none of them seriously recognize the government of that country, especially not when the government of that country is so extremely corrupt. And to be honest, you probably wouldn't either. So what's going to make them fight for that government that they don't honestly believe in? I don't believe they will. I believe they'll fight back as the fight comes to them, which is the wrong way to handle that. Because that makes the enemy get stronger and stronger and stronger to the point that you have no chance. And that's exactly what's going on in Iraq. So when we do pull out of Afghanistan, which Obama has already said we're going to do, he's already given a timeline for it, which I think is really stupid, because that just tells our enemy, you know, just hold on till such and such time, then you can sweep the country. So I believe that was a bad idea. But the same thing's going to happen. When I was in Afghanistan, I was a combat medic, and I would say, okay, I need you to bring me such and such many soldiers, and I'm going to teach them to be medics, so that you can have some trained medics on your team. They'll be basically combat lifesavers. They'll be able to give an IV and perform basic first aid, so that you may be able to get a soldier that's wounded back to a hospital. Now, I would tell them that and explain how important it is, and the answer was usually, Inshallah, which means God willing, we will have soldiers there at such and such time. Now the problem with Inshallah, meaning God's willing, is they use it as an excuse. They feel that excuse is, alright, Inshallah, in other words, God willing, I'll be there at 10 o'clock. If God wants me to be there at 10 o'clock, He will physically make me be there at 10 o'clock. That doesn't work. Because if God wants you to be there, He gave you a brain to get you there. If you think He's somehow magically going to put you in that class, you're wrong. Well, the problem with that is a habit of that country. Inshallah. Inshallah is a big problem with training the Afghan army. Because they feel like if they need to be trained, God will physically train them. They get out of it what they want. You can schedule an entire week's worth of classes, and they may make it to maybe one class, and they'll half-ass pay attention during that class. We would go on missions, and they would do their own thing. We would be on a convoy with them, teaching them convoys, and they would turn off the convoy, go down a different road, stop at a market, get out, buy some fish, completely leave the trucks full of weapons empty, buy some fish, have a good time, get back in the trucks, and not understand why we were angry with them to get back in the convoy. We would come under fire, they would get out of the trucks from a perfectly good armored Humvee, run to the nearest tree for cover, and not understand why we were angry with them that they got out of a perfectly armored Humvee. That is the type of military that they have at this point, And President Obama says that they're ready to take over the security of their own country. I believe that's dead wrong, and I believe that Afghanistan is going to go the same way as Iraq if we don't do some serious changes. If that happens, Iran does not stand a chance, because they will be fighting a two-front battle, and they do not want our help. And I honestly do not see Iran backing American military, especially not with the sanctions we're putting on them for their nuclear program. So, that being said, take the news with a grain of salt. Don't let it make you lose sleep at night. But what you're seeing on the news, what you're seeing, these brutal videos, this is what soldiers keep you from having to see day in and day out in your life. It pisses me off when I see on Facebook people saying, like, if they were actually fighting for our freedom, this is what it would look like, and it shows soldiers attacking the White House. If you don't believe soldiers are fighting for your freedom, pack up and go, because that's what they're doing every day. The fact that you're not seeing this type of stuff in your own country is because soldiers are fighting for your freedom in other countries. I could go more into depth to that one, but that's an entirely separate video. But the stuff that you're seeing right now that people are like, wow, that's really gruesome, that's horrible, that's pure evil, that's the type of stuff that other countries have to deal with every day. Those people are out there. Americans just don't see it because we have a military that actually believes in its cause. You have soldiers that stand up and say, I will fight for that because I don't want my family to have to see that. That's the reason that most Americans don't have to see this day in and day out. Alright guys, well thanks for watching. I'll be back to you as soon as I can with another video. Once again, I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. I know I'm enjoying making them. So I'm going to get to work. So you guys have a good one. Motorcycle Mouse out. Everyone relax. It's got cruise control. I'm just kidding. I know someone's out there losing their mind right now. Tire blowout. Tire marks. Lots of tire crap. I guess that'll have to do. Cue that outro music.